My name is Paul Mills and this is Soundclash, St Benedicts Street, Norwich. This is my shop. I'm the proprietor. First job was working for Bax Records in Swan Lane at the age of 15. Worked for them for 10 years and at that point started Soundclash. I started Soundclash up because there was going to be a break in the record shop family tree in Norwich. If I didn't continue, then Bax would have closed and there would have been no continuation of record shops here in Norwich. So it was really important that somebody could continue, and that person was me. In the last year, probably every day, somebody's come into the store and asked me where they can buy a turntable. Incredible. That's a lot of record players being sold right now. That's a lot of people getting into buying vinyl, wanting to play vinyl. I hope it's just not going to be a fad, and I hope it's going to take off. And I just hope that's the future of music.
My alphabet is absolutely terrible, and I used to blame my staff for years for filing things in the wrong place. But it wasn't until I discovered doing it on my own that there were still filing errors, which probably means it might have been me all the time.
And then you blame me.
No, I blame my daughter.
Well, it's not just me passionate about the music, there's also Rosie these days.
Hi, I'm Rosie. I'm Paul Mills' daughter. I come working here on Saturdays and I really enjoy my time here. Soundclash to me means a lot because it's been a huge part of my life ever since I can remember. When I was growing up at home, I can remember records everywhere, and then when I was about 7 or 8, I started coming in more regularly and I started listening to more and different music, and it's become a larger part of my life in recent times, and it's great. I love it here. Living with my dad, who is so passionate about music, can be a good thing, but at 12 o'clock at night when you're trying to get to sleep and he puts on some music you've never heard before and starts rattling through the house, it's not great, but I really respect his passion for music because I've never met anybody with such a passion.
Well, I got into music way back when I was really young, and it was 1977, it was punk rock, and that started it all off. And from that I got into record shops, and I spent most of my time in record shops. In fact, I spent more time in record shops than I did anywhere else. Therefore, I ended up working in one. And here I still am.
If I had to choose a piece of music or a genre of music that I just had to listen to for the rest of my life, it would have to be punk, kind of Sex Pistols, The Clash. The Clash albums I really enjoy. London Calling is, well, it's the most iconic. I also really enjoy things like Super Black Market Clash, and I just love it all really. That's why it's my favourite genre of music.
Hi, I'm Damian, aka Shore Delight, and I've been a DJ for 20 odd years. Started when I was 18 and I'm now 41. Still spinning records and buying vinyl, not as much, and also downloading, but still buy the vinyl. I was buying records off Paul when he was working at Bax Records, and when Bax Records closed, I then started coming here and buying my records from Soundclash. I remember years ago going to a Norwich Arts Centre over the road and seeing Paul on the decks when I was just getting into DJing and seeing him scratching and cutting it up, and for me it was like, oh, that's that bloke that works in the record shop, and I recognised the tune he was playing. It had been sampled by Public Enemy, and it was just like, it was all part of forming me to become a DJ really, and giving me excitement and influence.
We do weekly pre-sales with most of our companies. There's weekly communication. It's a fast industry, so that, you know, we're forever being sold music for the next few weeks. The record store day is now something that almost it's the record store's second Christmas week. It's huge and it's getting bigger. It's becoming such a huge cash boost to the industry that the industry's now working in and around it, that it's now becoming really important to the point where everyone's jumped on it. It's going to be even bigger next year.
Soundclash Records is a vital part of Norwich history. As I said, it's a place where people have come and will come for music that's not your obvious sounds.
Soundclash is really important for Norwich, as independent record shops are really important for where they are. I suppose the end result of selling music over the years, the great thing about it is being able to sell a different genre of music to someone else who's been buying the same genre of music. So it's very good to be able to introduce somebody to more music, different music. And that doesn't happen that often because a lot of people are really stuck into a very small selection. But it's really good to be able to provide and to pass on other great music. That's one of the great achievements, is to get somebody looking for a different section of music, because that's great, because that wouldn't have happened any other way. That wouldn't have happened online, it wouldn't have happened on the internet. The future for Soundclash and other independent record stores is selling music across the board, regardless to its musical genre. It's all about stocking vintage, classic and retro LPs, trying to gather as much great product as possible and presenting it to the people. You do come into the shop and there's suddenly something that you haven't thought about, but it's there. And it's just like, wow, yeah, this. Now that don't happen on a website. Other things happen on a website, but not that. So that's what's really good about it. You leave with something that you weren't planning on getting, which is great.
A shop like Soundclash is important because it gives you that chance to buy records that are underground, you know, not the ones that we're hearing on MTV or in the charts. It's a chance to find music that's not obvious, and I think that's really important.
Well, it is being like the kind of hub of music buying community. It's, you know, it's a place to not only just talk about records, but to talk about the state of the industry, the changes of the industry, you know, and the perspective of somebody else on the other side. But it is like, it's the face, it's the personality, it's the, you know, it's the human contact.
Obviously Paul's passionate about what he does, I'm passionate about music, and I feel like I can come in here and you know, leave with a couple of great records, or even if I haven't left with a record or two, just pop in to say hi, really.
It's fantastic, and he's so nice to all of his customers, and he treats them like his best friend, and I think that's really lovely to have that kind of one-to-one relationship with those customers.
Well, it beats working for someone. I can't work for anyone now, it's too long gone. I'm not going to work for anyone ever. So yes, it's brilliant. I love it.